All right. Okay, there it goes. All right, and we are live. Welcome back with Murphy Mack to another episode of the Fitness Beginner Podcast, where we help you get started on your fitness journey. What is up, everybody? Hope y'all having a great day so far. If you're listening in the car on the way to work, y'all have a great day at work, or on the way home from work. So yeah, today we're going to continue the series of the Ultimate Beginner's Guide to Fitness. And today's topic is on understanding the role of nutrition in fitness. So we're going to cover nutrition from a very, very high level, like basic level, not getting down into the nitty gritty. And we're also going to cover a little bit about hydration, staying hydrated, the importance of it in your fitness journey, no matter what your goals are. Before we get started, if y'all haven't watched the previous episode, I added a little bonus episode in there for y'all where I did an interview where I had a conversation with a guy named Jason Criddle. He is a very successful businessman, investor. He's a best-selling. Oh, okay. Sorry about that. But yeah, he's an author. He's helped people lose over 10,000 pounds. He's done a lot in fitness and in business as well. So y'all check that out, where we talk mainly about fitness. But yeah, it was a good conversation. So let's go ahead and hop into the podcast topic today, understanding the role of nutrition in fitness. Nutrition plays a crucial role in supporting overall health and optimizing fitness performance. The food you consume provides the energy, the nutrients, and the building blocks necessary for various physiological functions. That's a hard word to say. Recovery and exercise performance. Here's an overview of the key aspects of the role of nutrition and fitness. So first and foremost, we have energy balance. So your calorie intake, consuming an appropriate number of calories to meet your energy needs is fundamental. So this is obviously going to differ from person to person. If you're a larger person, you're probably going to require more energy. If you're a smaller person, you're going to require less energy. If you have more muscle in your frame, you're going to require more energy. If you're more active, you're going to require more energy. So you have to eat more food. So depending on your activity level, your size, your sex, age, all that kind of thing, it's going to your metabolism, all that's going to affect your calorie intake goals. So you kind of have to figure this out for yourself. And then energy expenditure, balancing calorie intake with energy expenditure ensures weight management, weight maintenance, weight loss, or weight gain based on whatever your fitness goals are. So obviously, you want to gain weight, you need to eat more food. You want to lose weight, you need to eat less food. Or if you want to stay the same, you want to stay around that maintenance level. Number 2, macronutrients. So there's 3 macronutrients: proteins, carbohydrates, and fats. Proteins are going to be your most important, in my opinion. These are essential for muscle repair, muscle growth, maintenance. Adequate protein intake supports recovery after strength training and other workouts. So you got to get your protein in. This is very important. If you're a female listening, you need your protein too. Trust me, you're not going to get big just because you started eating some protein and you started working out. You need your protein too. It's very, very important for male and female. Carbohydrates is the next one. These are mostly known as carbs. Carbs get a bad rep in the fitness industry just because it's like the cool thing to do not to eat carbs nowadays, which it has its place. And that's why the keto diet is so big nowadays. And yeah, it works. It has its place. But carbs are still very important when it comes to your nutrition. Carbs are going to be your primary energy source, especially for high intensity exercise. So if you're an athlete, got to get your carbs in. If you're an endurance athlete, got to get your carbs in. Carbs replenish those glycogen stores. This is crucial for anybody participating in any physical activity. So athletes, endurance athletes, bodybuilders, things like that. If you have a very demanding job, if you're a construction worker or something, you got to get your carbs in. And then the last macronutrient is fats. Fats provide sustained energy. They support hormone production and they aid in nutrient absorption. So include healthy fats such as avocados, nuts, and olive oil into your diet. So fats will actually have more calories per gram. So fats have 9 calories per gram. Proteins and carbs will only have 4 calories per gram. Number 3, micronutrients. So micronutrients are going to be your vitamins and your minerals. So it's essential for various metabolic processes, immune function, and bone health. A diverse and balanced diet ensures sufficient micronutrient intake. So these are all your vitamins, your vitamin A, vitamin D, all that. That's what your micronutrients is going to be. So number 4, we're going to go into pre-workout nutrition. So again, we have it broken down by carbs, proteins, and hydration. So before you work out, you want to consume some carbs about an hour and a half out to 3 hours out. You want to consume some complex carbs before your workout, and this is going to provide you fuel for that workout to give you some energy so you can optimize that workout and have best energy, sustained energy while you're working out. And then the protein. So you want to include a small amount of protein. This can support muscle protein synthesis. So eat a little bit of protein with those carbs for your pre-workout meal. And then also hydration. So you want to drink water to ensure your proper fluid levels are right. You want to make sure you're getting water in before your workout. And then number 5, your post-workout nutrition. So again, we're consuming proteins, carbs, and you're going to hydrate. So proteins, you want to consume protein-rich foods or supplements after workouts to support muscle repair and muscle growth. A lot of times you'll hear people say you need to eat right after your workout. This is true in a sense, but it don't have to be directly after. I would try to get protein in as close to your workout as possible, but if you can't for any reason, it's not gonna diminish all your results. You still want to get some protein in as soon as you can. But say you can't eat for 2 hours after the workout, you'll be fine. Just get it in when you can. But if you can, ideally eat right after your workout if you can. And then next, you want to get some carbs in, where you want to replenish those glycogen stores with carbs. So that's going to aid in recovery. And then also hydrate again. Replace those fluids that you lost during your exercise. So if you're sweating, you're going to be losing fluids. So you need to replenish those fluids that you lost. Number 6, nutrient timing. So pre-exercise, so we kind of hit on this, focus on carbs for energy and a small amount of protein. During exercise, you want to stay hydrated for prolonged exercise. Consider sports drinks, electrolytes, things like that to kind of give you an intra-workout, give you something to do, give you something to keep you going while you're working out. And then post-exercise, you want to prioritize those protein and carbs again within the first hour for optimal recovery if you can get it in then. Number 7, weight management. So caloric deficit or a caloric surplus, depending on what your goals are. Adjust calorie intake based on fitness goals, weight loss, maintenance, or muscle gain. So obviously weight loss, less calories, maintenance around the same. Or if you want to gain muscle, you're going to increase those calories. You're going to be in a calorie surplus. And then nutrient density. So you want to choose nutrient dense foods to meet nutritional needs while managing calorie intake. So what is a nutrient dense food? A nutrient dense food is foods that have a lot of nutrients in them. So think of meats, vegetables, fruits. These are going to be your really nutrient packed foods. A lot of processed foods lose a lot of their nutrients during the processing. So stick to whole foods. Whole foods are going to be your most nutrient dense foods most of the time. Number 8, when it comes to specific fitness goals, if it's muscle gain, make sure you get an adequate amount of protein, and you want to be in a slight caloric surplus to support muscle growth. If your specific goal is endurance, you want to focus on carb intake for sustained energy during endurance activities. So I learned a lot about carbs and endurance while I was doing the Ironman training. So this is very, very important to fuel your workouts because you're going to be doing a lot of exercise and a lot of cardio. You got to make sure you're replenishing your glycogen stores with the carbs. And then if your goal is weight loss, you want to create a caloric deficit with a balanced diet to support fat loss. So slight caloric deficit, 300 to 500 calories below your maintenance calories, and you'll be good there. Number 9, individual variation. So personalized nutrition, individual needs will vary based on factors like age, your gender, your metabolism, and your specific fitness goals. So you have to personalize it to yourself. There's no one-size-fit-all diet for anybody because everybody's bodies are different. Everybody's ages are different. Everybody's goals are different. So it's going to depend on you personally. And then that leads us to trial and error. So you got to experiment with different approaches. This way you can find what works best for you and your body and the performance that you're looking for. So you got to experiment, trial and error, figure out what works for you. It may take you some time and it may be frustrating, but it will pay off in the long term. Try out what works for you, and then you can stick with that and tailor it more to you and personalize it. Number 10, hydration. So water intake, stay adequately hydrated for optimal performance and recovery. You want to make sure you're getting electrolytes in and replenish those electrolytes, especially during prolonged or intense exercise. So if you're sweating a lot, get some electrolytes. If you're running, if you're doing endurance training, make sure you're getting electrolytes. And honestly, you should just be getting electrolytes, period. I mean, especially if you're working out in the gym, you got to replenish that. So make sure you're hydrating. Drink plenty of water. Don't just drink water, though. Also drink electrolytes. Get you some salt in your body, and you'll be good to go. Long-term health, number 11. So overall well-being, proper nutrition supports not only your fitness goals, but also just long-term health in general. This prevents chronic diseases and promotes vitality. I guess, yeah. So everybody knows fitness is just good for your health in general. Number 12, you want to make sure you consult with a professional. So when it comes to nutritional guidance, you can consider consulting with a registered dietitian or a nutritionist and they can give you more personalized advice based on your body, your age, your fitness goals, and what your individual needs are. So definitely consult with a professional. And by no means a dietitian or nutritionist. So do not take my word for any of this. Consult a professional and they will set you on the right path. I'm just telling y'all what works for me. So you got to understand and prioritize nutrition in fitness, contribute significantly to achieving and maintaining your optimal health. This will support your exercise performance and help you reach your fitness goals. So a balanced diet, an individual approach is key to unlocking the benefits of nutrition in the context of your unique fitness journey. So for 99% of people, nutrition is going to be the hardest part of your fitness journey. I know it is for me. And that's because food has just become so convenient and so available to us nowadays that it's just so easy to eat bad, to eat junk food. And with the way that our schedules go nowadays is we're on the go all the time. We're going, 90 to nothing all the time. Never stop, never get extra time to actually sit down and cook. So with fast food, processed foods, anything with a wrapper, you can just open it up and eat it real quick. That's what makes diet, nutrition so hard when it comes to fitness. So when you are really serious about getting into your fitness journey, you're going to have to make some sacrifices. Like you're not going to be able to eat fast food all the time. You're not going to be able to just eat a candy bar whenever you want to. You got to set aside time to prep your food or cook your food, things like that. So it takes a little more effort to eat healthy, but it can be done and you can do it. So you just have to take a tailored approach and actually commit to it. And it's all just how bad do you want it. If you want it bad enough, you'll get it done. So that's going to lead us to planning a balanced diet. And then we're going to talk a little bit about hydration. So when it comes to planning a balanced diet and staying hydrated, these are crucial components of maintaining overall health, supporting fitness goals, and ensuring optimal performance. So here's a guide to help you plan a balanced diet and stay adequately hydrated. Planning a balanced diet. 1, you want to include a variety of nutrient-dense foods. Fruits and vegetables, so aim for a colorful array to ensure a broad spectrum of vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. Whole grains. Choose whole grains like brown rice, quinoa, oats, and whole wheat for fiber and sustained energy. Lean proteins. So you want to include sources like poultry, fish, tofu, beans, and legumes for essential amino acids. Proteins that I suggest are just chicken and beef and turkey. I mean, pretty easy to go to lean proteins. Healthy fats. Incorporate sources like avocados, nuts, seeds, and olive oil for good heart health. Number 2, you got to balance your macronutrients. So again, it goes back to those protein, carbs, and fats. You want to consume an adequate amount of protein for muscle repair and maintenance. You have to choose complex carbs for sustained energy, especially before your workouts. And then include healthy fats in moderation for overall well-being. Number 3, and this is a big one, portion control. You want to have moderate portions. Be mindful of the portion sizes to avoid overeating. Listen to hunger cues. Pay attention to your body's signals of hunger and fullness. So a little hack that I like to use for portion control is when you're putting things on a plate, like if you're going to cook on a plate, use a small plate. Like don't use a big plate. Use one of those little small plates. And this is a hack because you can only fit so much food on it. So one, you have to eat that first before you can go back and get more. And then 2, it makes you more aware of how much you're actually eating. Because if you do eat it all and then you go back to get more, you have to know you know in your head, you're like, hey, I just ate a whole plate and I'm about to eat more. So it makes you more aware of how much you're eating. If you just get a big old plate and you just fill it up with food, you're gonna smack it all and not even realize how much food you just ate. So it makes you more aware. I know it's just a little thing, it's just a little hack. And honestly, allow yourself to go back and get more. Like don't limit yourself to one plate. Allow yourself to say, hey, I'm gonna eat this first, and then I'm gonna go back and get some more. But what you'll come to find that once you eat that one plate, it'll kind of fill you up, and you won't be as hungry. So you won't if you do go back, you won't get as much food on your plate again when you go back because you're already a little full. So that's just a little hack. Try it out for yourself. See if it works for you. Number 4, meal timing. So you want to make sure you're getting regular meals. Aim for regular, balanced meals throughout the day, whatever works for your schedule. And then pre and post workout nutrition. So include a mix of carbs and proteins for energy and recovery. Number 5, stay mindful of your hydration. So water-rich foods. Consume foods with high water content, such as fruits and vegetables. And then you can also incorporate soups or broths that can contribute to your hydration. So that's planning a balanced diet. Now we're going to get into staying hydrated. So number 1, your daily water intake. So a general guideline to aim for at least 8 glasses of water, which comes out to be 64 ounces per day. For me, I would say that's the bare minimum. You want to get 64 ounces bare minimum for your day, but I would aim for a gallon. Honestly, like I know that's a lot, and it seems like a lot to most people, but if you carry a bottle with you everywhere you go and just drink it throughout the day, you can get it done. Like it's really not that much water if you do it throughout the day. I mean, if you wait until 12 o'clock in the afternoon to start drinking water, yeah, it's going to be hard for you to get a gallon in the rest of the day. Start in the morning. First thing you do when you wake up, get you some water. You've been dehydrated all night because you haven't drank anything all night. Get some water in you first thing in the morning and drink it throughout the day. Carry a water bottle around with you everywhere you go and get one of the refillable ones so you can refill it wherever you're at. And I would aim for at least, at the minimum, get 64 ounces. That's on the low end. But yeah, shoot for a gallon. You'll be good to go. Number 2, hydration throughout the day. Okay, so I kind of just hit on this. Consistent intake. So sip water consistently throughout the day rather than consuming large amounts at once. You obviously don't just want to chug a bunch of water because it's going to fill your stomach up and you're not going to feel too good. So sip on it throughout the day. And hydrate before your exercise. So drink water before, during, and after your workouts. Because when you're working out, you're going to sweat a lot. You're going to lose a lot of those fluids, so you got to replenish them. Number 3, monitor hydration status. So your urine color. If it's a pale yellow, then that indicates good hydration. If it's a dark yellow, you may be a little dehydrated. So you need to drink some more water. And then thirst. Respond to your body's signals of thirst. Obviously, if you're thirsty, you need to drink some water. But if you really want to get all your water in, you're going to have to drink water when you're not thirsty. Like you got to force yourself to drink it because you're not going to be, especially if you're pretty well hydrated, you're not going to be thirsty a lot. So you just got to make yourself drink it anyway. That's why I said carry the bottle with you because if you see it, you'll know to drink it. But if you just don't have it with you and you don't get thirsty, you're never going to drink any water. Number 4, electrolytes. So make sure you're getting your electrolytes in during exercise. If engaged in prolonged or intense exercise, consider beverages with electrolytes to replenish sodium, potassium, and other minerals. So especially if you're sweating a lot, if you're doing endurance work, make sure you're getting your electrolytes in. It's very, very important. Number 5, Limit your sugary drinks. So choose water, opt for water as the primary beverage choice, and then limit the sugary beverages. So minimize consumption of sugary drinks and sodas. If you have to have that sweet soda or something, get a diet soda. Get one with 0 calories. Number 6, hydrating foods. So you can eat water-rich foods. Foods like watermelon, cucumber, oranges. They're going to contribute to your hydration because they're made of basically water. They have a lot of water content in them. Number 7, when it comes to individual factors, you want to tailor your intake. Adjust water intake based on individual factors like age, weight, and activity level. And then also individual factors come into play with your climate. So if you're in a hot or humid climate, you need to make sure you're increasing your fluids, increase your water intake. If you're sick, you want to make sure you monitor hydration during illness. Increase your fluids. During illness causing fever, vomiting, or diarrhea, increase fluid intake to prevent dehydration. It's going to be good to kind of flush your body out, flush your system. Going to make you ultimately get better sooner. Number 9, use hydration apps. So you can track your intake using apps to monitor your daily intake and receive reminders to remind you to drink. Also, you can get those little bottles that have the little lines on them that say the different times of the day and how far you are. That works good too to kind of help remind you how much you've drank so far. So you want to make sure you're consulting with a professional, a registered dietitian or a nutritionist. They'll be able to tailor advice on your dietary needs and goals specifically for you. So they'll be able to give you some more exact recommendations and what you should or shouldn't be doing. Also, you also want to consult with your healthcare provider. So your doctor, consult with your healthcare provider for guidance on specific dietary requirements, especially if you have health conditions. So if you already have a health condition that you know of, make sure you're talking to them when it comes to fitness, your nutrition, your hydration, all that, because depending on what kind of health issues you have, that's going to change. That's going to depend on you specifically. So a sample balanced daily meal plan. This is a very generic meal plan that you can follow. So breakfast, oatmeal with berries and a sprinkle of nuts, Greek yogurt with honey, and green tea or water. It's a simple, good, healthy, nutritious breakfast. Lunch, grilled chicken, salad with mixed vegetables, quinoa or brown rice on the side, and then water with lemon. For a snack, you can do apple slices with almond butter, and you can have water or an herbal tea. For dinner, baked salmon, or if you're vegan, you can do plant-based protein source, steamed broccoli and sweet potatoes, and then water with a splash of lime. And then hydration throughout the day, water with your meals and between snacks. Literally just sip on your water as you go out throughout your day. So remember, individual nutritional needs vary, and it's important to find a plan that suits your preferences, your lifestyle, and healthy goals. So regularly reassess and make adjustments based on your body's response and changes in activity levels. So there you have it. That's the basics of nutrition and staying hydrated. Obviously, when it comes to nutrition, this is going to vary a lot depending on you, depending on what your goals are, your age, your sex, your all that kind of stuff. There's a lot that goes into place. So there's no like cookie cutter program you can give somebody when it comes to fitness. You have to really dial it in for yourself because it could vary a lot. But I suggest trial and error. Try it out, see what works for you. You can start by getting a good base recommendation like online, look it up on Google, give you a good starting point and start there and then kind of play around with it. Like you got to tailor it to you. If you're staying the same weight, obviously you know you're right at maintenance level. If you're gaining weight, then you know you're in a calorie surplus. If you're losing weight, you know you're in a calorie deficit. So you got to play around with it. You got to figure out what works for you because everybody's body is different. Everybody's body reacts differently to different stimuluses. So it just depends. And you don't have to follow a bodybuilding diet where you just eat chicken and rice. You can still have good food. You can still enjoy your diet without just being so strict on yourself. So you just got to play around with it, see what works for you. So yeah, I know this is not a very fun topic to talk about. Nobody wants to talk about eating on a diet. I know this is probably my least favorite part of fitness as well, but it's very, very crucial. It's probably the most important part of fitness because you can't out train a bad diet. You just can't. Like when you work out, you really don't burn that many calories. I mean, you may burn anywhere from 100 to 400 calories in a workout. Like you don't really burn that much, but it's very, very easy to consume 400 calories. Like you can consume 400 calories on one little one little small snack. You can be gone just like that. So nutrition is very, very, very important for no matter what your goals are: gaining weight, losing weight, building muscle, whatever. Endurance training is important. So focus. You got to get your nutrition right first before you're really ever going to see any other progress. So start experimenting with it now, and you can do it. I promise. But yeah, that leads us to next week podcast. We are going to cover building consistency. So that's a big one. That's one of my most important topics when it comes to fitness as a whole, is building consistency. So that's what we're going to talk about next week. Y'all make sure to tune in then. But if you ain't subscribed to the podcast yet, subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Go to the YouTube channel, the Fitness Beginner Podcast. Subscribe over there if you want to watch the video version of the podcast. I really appreciate it. Leave a review, 5 stars. So yeah, I don't think I have any other updates for y'all. I do have something in the works, but I have to finalize something else before I'm going to tell y'all about it. So yeah, I'll give y'all a hint. I did an Ironman last year, so I got something similar in the works for this year, but I can't tell you what it is yet because I'm still dialing it all in, still getting it set up. But yeah, y'all stay tuned. But until then, we'll see y'all next week. Peace, love, protein.